Yo, what's going on, guys? This is me Nitin here.
It's been even yet.
Welcome to How Twin Things, guys. We are twins, and today we are gonna react to top 10 countries with the smallest population. So let's get into the video, guys.
Hello! Welcome back to the most amazing top 10. My name is Danny Burke, and a while back we did a video right over here on the top 10 countries with the highest populations. Now you guys seemed to enjoy it, but it wasn't too hard to guess what countries made it to the top of that list. But how about the top 10 countries with the smallest populations? Aha! Now, there's a list that I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't really thought of, I hope. Starting things off now at number 10, we have Dominica. Now it gets its name from the day that Christopher Columbus spotted it, because Dominica is Latin for Sunday. But the native Carib word for it is Waitu Kabili, which means tall is her body. This Caribbean country has a population of 72,324 people. Dominica is not to be confused with the much larger Dominican Republic, but like a lot of Caribbean countries, Dominica struggled for independence from colonial powers for many years until it gained its own independence in 1967. And I for one am glad, because firstly, yay independence, that's always good, but secondly, check out their flag. That's a Ciceroo parrot, and it can only be found on the island. It's their national bird, and so they were like, yeah, why not? Let's just put our parrot on our flag, and I think that makes it one of the coolest flags around personally. I'm surprised more people don't just move there to live under the banner of a glorious parrot. Moving on to number 9 now, we've got the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. It sounds like a made up name, but it's real, and I love the name. There are just 54,961 people living on these two Caribbean islands. Native people have lived there for over 5,000 years, and during colonial times the island swapped hands quite a lot before ending up in British control in 1713. It became fully independent from the UK in 1983, but still has the Queen as its monarch. Cricket is also a popular sport there, for which I can only apologise. Its economy is mainly based around the making and exporting of sugar, because everyone has a sweet tooth, right? One thing I did find interesting is that in 1998 the island of Nevis tried to separate from St. Kitts, but luckily the vote failed. Now forget celebrity breakups, St. Kitts and Nevis for life, man, that's true love right there. Coming in at number 8 now, we have the Marshall Islands with an estimated 54,408 people. They live across these 29 Pacific islands. The native people there call the islands Jolette, Jan and Nick, which means gifts from God. That's a nice name. The English name comes from a man called John Marshall. Now he was a British explorer who visited the islands in 1788, but they have been claimed by Spain for much of the past 500 years. But after changing hands quite a lot, they finally ended up under United States control after taking them from Japan. I know, stay with me. Despite gaining independence in 1979, the Marshall Islands still receive a lot of financial support from the US, and they even share intelligence and use the US dollar. But it's not all good news. The Marshall Islands also contains Bikini Atoll, which is where the US used to test nuclear bombs, and yeah, they pretty much ruined that entire area, but it also gave its name to the bikini over here and Bikini Bottom in SpongeBob, so yeah, that's a small silver lining, I guess. Now at number 7, we have Monaco. It sits in the southeast corner of France on the Mediterranean Sea and is the second smallest country in the world, coming in at just 2 square kilometers. That's nothing. It's basically just one town with about 37,800 people living there. On a map, it's so small that it looks like a part of France, but France has always let it have its own independence, except Napoleon. He took it for a while, but just ignore him. In 1297, Francesco Grimaldi began ruling Monaco, and the Grimaldi family never really stopped. It's been over 700 years since then, and the royal family is still there. Prince Albert Grimaldi is the current ruler, who has an estimated wealth of $1 billion. That's about twice as much as the Queen of England. He's rich. It's famous for its lavish casinos, the Grand Prix races that happen there, and also a bit of a shady tax haven. It also has exactly the same flag as Indonesia. Seriously, apparently the only difference is that the Indonesian one is slightly wider. I couldn't tell you which is which. Coming in at number 6 now, we have Liechtenstein. Now this place sits in the heart of Europe and is one of the only 2 countries in the world to be what's called doubly landlocked, which means it's landlocked by countries that are landlocked. Yeah, that's apparently a thing. Now it is tiny compared to its neighbours, and its population sits at just 37,340 people. What it lacks in size and numbers though, Liechtenstein makes up for with a rich history that stretches from the Iron Age to the Romans to independence from the Austrian Empire. It sits in the middle of Europe, and it pretty much looks like what everyone thinks Europe looks like before they visit, some sort of magical kingdom. And it kind of is. Despite its size, Liechtenstein has a royal family, and once a year the royal family hold a garden party at one of their castles, and the whole country is invited. Yeah, oh, and you can also rent out the entire country for apparently $70,000 a night. I am not making this up. It is not some sort of Disney theme park. This is Liechtenstein. Now guys, let's head over to a country that is inside Italy. Hey, none of that. And number 5 is San Marino. Now San Marino is surrounded by Italy but has never been a part of it. About 33,000 people live here and claim that it's the oldest republic in the world, dating back to the year 301. For hundreds of years, Italy wasn't actually one country at all. It was made up of many different rival factions. In the 19th century, the Italian unification began to form the country we know today, but the tiny San Marino said no. They wanted to remain independent. Since then, everyone from Napoleon to Italy itself has threatened its independence, but San Marino has stood strong. But I have to admit, although I had heard of San Marino before, I didn't really know where it was or much about it, but it seems like a fascinating place with really cool history. Also, their football team is actually ranked the worst in the whole of FIFA. They've only won a single game out of 115 international matches. But man, I wish I was in San Marino when they won that one single game. I bet it was mental. At number 4 now, we have Palau. Now this country is a collection of about 200 islands that are 650 kilometers from the Philippines, and 17,948 people live there. First of all, check out this flag. That is a cool flag. I want that flag. This country has actually been part of quite a few different countries over the years. Despite there being natives living there, the Spanish claimed it as their own in 1574. Then it was handed to the Germans, then the Japanese occupied it, and then the US owned it after the Second World War. It finally became independent from the United States in 1994, but it still uses the US dollar. Yes, if you're American, it would take you 22 hours to fly from Washington DC to Palau, but when you get there, you can just use the same dollars you have in your pocket right now. I find that crazy. It even has its own Capitol building. Check it out. So it looks exactly like the Capitol building. So if any of you guys love America but don't want to live there, then Palau kind of is like a mini tropical America on the other side of the world. Coming in at number 3 now, we have Tuvalu. Now this country is made up of 3 small reef islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, about halfway between Australia and Hawaii. 10,640 people call this place home. Now we're getting to the point now in the video where more of you guys will probably watch this video than the people who live in these countries. If you add up all the landmass of the islands, Tuvalu is actually the 4th smallest country in the world. The biggest and most populated island is called Funafuti. That whole island is the capital. It's tiny, but it has quite a lot of houses. It has a church, a community meeting place, a post office, an airport, and even a football team. Yeah, here they are. Good on them, I say. Apparently they want to be a part of FIFA, but FIFA won't let them join because they don't have a proper playing field. That is so sad. I say hashtag get Tuvalu a proper playing field. Not too far away now, we have our number 2, which is the Republic of Nauru. This tiny island nation has only been an independent country since 1968 and has a population of just 10,084 people. Despite that, there have been humans here for over 3,000 years. These days, the Republic of Nauru has no army, no daily news publications, no taxis, and many people consider weightlifting to be its national sport. It used to be called Pleasant Island, which is a really, well, I guess pleasant name for an island, but these days Nauru is battling unemployment, obesity, and destruction of its land from mining. Despite all of this, it's thought that Nauru was actually one of the top spots in the world for illegal money laundering, and that Russian mobsters have laundered about $70 billion there in fake companies. Honestly, I think this place kind of deserves its own video. It's crazy how much stuff can happen on such a remote, tiny place with so little people. And finally now, at number 1, we have have the Vatican City. Now the Vatican is not just where the Pope lives at the seat of the Catholic Church, it is also the smallest and least populated country in the world. It is just 0.44 square kilometers in size and has one large wall as its border. Surrounding the whole country is the Italian capital city of Rome. Along with the Pope, there are roughly just 1,000 citizens of the Vatican City. That's it, and they are mainly just people who work there at the post office, the radio station, or in the Vatican's museums. Oh, and also the Swiss Guard, of course, the protectors of the Pope, who might look like they're having a laugh, but yeah, I wouldn't mess with them. They will mess you up. I think the Vatican is not only the smallest and least populated country on the planet, it might also be one of the most unique and odd. But what do you guys think? Did you already know about all of these countries on our list? Because I definitely didn't, personally. If you did learn something, then don't forget to throw us a big thumbs up. That would be amazing. Make sure you are subscribed to Most Amazing Top 10 before you head on back into the depths of YouTube. My name is Danny Berg. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and I'll see you all soon.
It's been a pleasure to us too. You know about Vatican City?
Yeah, Pope living place.
Yeah, it's in middle of Italy or something. Just a city, size of city. And yep.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye.